According to World Bank, Vietnam is currently one of the countries having promising investment climate and stable economic growth in the region. Vietnam is not only a potential market for foreign investors, but also an attractive destination for many tourists around the world. This leads to an increasing tendencies of foreigners studying Vietnamese to facilitate the work and daily communication. There were a lot of foreigners studying Vietnamese and became successful in Vietnam. One of the most outstanding foreigners is Cao York, an American guy who was known as a Western man singing to music. With the ability to sing Vietnamese songs beautifully, Cao York wowed the Vietnamese audiences and appeared in many large and small-scale stages in Vietnam.
Đời người như gió qua.
Today, the opportunity to learn Vietnamese for foreigners is becoming more open. One, they have a wide range of options. One practical and effective way to learn Vietnamese is participating in Vietnamese clubs. At these clubs, they will directly talk to native speakers, correct the pronunciation, as well as get acquainted with the structure for daily communication. In today's program, we'll find out the experiences of an American girl who has learned Vietnamese through a Vietnamese club in Hanoi, as well as her activities in this club. Hello and welcome to Sharing Vietnam on VTC10 Netviet. I'm Viet. In our program today, we'll have a talk to Ms. Rebecca Ruiz, an American girl who has been living and working in Vietnam. She's been learning Vietnamese for almost 2 years, and let's find out about her experience of learning Vietnamese. Thank you, Ms. Rebecca Ruiz, for joining our program today. Why did you decide to learn Vietnamese?
I've been learning Vietnamese for about 3 years now. I think it's really important to learn the language when you move to another culture. It helps you to learn more about people's hearts and their culture.
What do you think about this language?
I really enjoy it. It's kind of hard for me with the tones, but I like to learn new words. I'm learning right now on my own 1 time a week, but also I learn at Tea Talk Vietnamese Club on Saturday evenings.
So there's a lot of ways to learn Vietnamese, and one of the best ways that people choose and have the most influence is joining the Vietnamese club. What do you think about this way?
Yeah, I think for different people, different styles of learning is really important. For me, I need to be very like hands-on and very relational. If I'm not talking with somebody, I feel like I'm not really going to be into it. So textbooks and me just don't really go well together. So it's good to be able to study with somebody, a person, have it relational.
Since the first day of learning Vietnamese, have you encountered or found any difficulties of learning Vietnamese?
Yes, you have to make sure you have the correct pronunciation. If you have one zo that's wrong, and then it's all the wrong words. So maybe sometimes I say the bad word or something if I don't have the correct pronunciation.
So in your opinion, what is the difference between the Vietnamese and English, your mother tongue?
Well, the first thing I mentioned was there's the tones, the 6 tones in Vietnamese. We don't really have that in English. And a lot of really similar pronunciations. There are a lot of diphthongs and vowels that are very important in Vietnamese. In America, you have different accents, so it doesn't really matter as much. So.
One of the Vietnamese clubs that many foreigners are interested in Hanoi is Vietnamese Tea Talk Club. The club was founded in 2012 as a non-profit organization to provide free Vietnamese lectures and introduce Vietnamese culture to foreigners. The club is sponsored by Tea Talk Vietnam Project, an NGO core. With the help of Vietnamese volunteers, foreigners will join in classes from basic to advanced level, including pronunciation, common structure to help them in daily communication in Vietnamese. The themes of the club are simple and close to daily life of Vietnamese people. In today's meeting, the foreigners learned about the structure and how to bargain when going shopping every day. First and foremost, they need to identify the current denomination of Vietnamese đồng and how to ask the price of products. An indispensable part of learning a Korean language is practicing communication. Vietnamese Tea Talk Club always gives chance to Korean member to discuss with volunteers to get familiar with Vietnamese environment.
Em ơi,
Vâng,
tôi muốn hỏi một bát phở bao nhiêu tiền?
một bát phở giá 30.000.
30.000.
30.
Cho tôi một bát phở.
Của anh đây. Tiền của anh đâu?
Tiền của tôi. Đấy. 30.000.
Đúng rồi, 30.000.
Phở tôi đâu?
After learning how to bargain when going shopping every day, Korean members learned more about asking for directions. This is an essential structure for foreigners when they get lost or find a certain location. When understanding the structure of asking for directions and places, Korean members were involved in extracurricular activities to speak in Vietnamese with locals. This activity will be funny but also challenging for them.
Chúng tôi vừa học về cách khuấy đường sông và bây giờ chúng tôi sẽ đi bên ngoài để thực hành. Các bạn đi nhé. Đi thôi.
Let's see how the first guy practices Vietnamese.
Em chào hai anh. Cho em hỏi đi siêu thị Big C thế nào?
Đi Big C thì anh qua ngã tư này, sau đó rẽ phải khoảng 200 m. Anh hỏi tiếp.
Em cảm ơn anh rất là nhiều.
Wow, he did a good job.
Chào bạn. Tôi muốn đi đến xe buýt. Có đến xe buýt gần đây?
Gần đây chỗ ngã tư đèn xanh đèn đỏ đây, chỗ Vũ Phạm Hà. Đấy là đi các nơi ngã tư, đây đường Trung Kính. Đoạn nữa là thấy.
Cảm ơn.
A little struggle initially, he finally got the direction.
Em ơi, cho anh xin hỏi đường một tí từ đây đến đường Nguyễn Thị Thành đi như thế nào?
Ê, bây giờ đi Nguyễn Thị Thành thì anh lên đường Duy Hưng ấy. Đi thẳng đến trên kia đến đường to thì anh sẽ bên này, anh đi qua cầu vượt tới.
Anh cảm ơn.
Today's activity was exciting and fun and practical. We learned about directions and how to ask where we want to go. And so I think it's great because now if I'm in the city, I'm trying to get somewhere and I get lost, it will be easy to ask somebody else and then I can find my way back to where I need to go or my way back home.
The last activity of the meeting is learn to do bánh trôi. Bánh trôi is a traditional sweet cake in the northern, most popular during the Han Thực festival, held annually on the March 3rd in lunar calendar. This is a new experience for Korean members to know a new cake and directly learn how to make it. This is a useful extracurricular activity for members of the club to find out another traditional cultural feature of Vietnam.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Chúng ta làm bánh cười đẹp không?
Rất đẹp.
Không đẹp. Bây giờ chúng ta đi lót lên nhé.
Ok.
What are the effects of Tea Talk Vietnamese Club to your Vietnamese learning experience?
Oh, I think it's really important to have activities like this because it's like TPR. Your total body is involved. You have to actually go somewhere and you have a high motivation to actually speak and practice in Vietnamese. Because sometimes you get lazy or you get too friendly with the people here and you can use English. But if you go outside, then you have to use Vietnamese. So it's very good practice to motivate you. Well, every Saturday night we come here and basically I'm in the, I guess, advanced group. So we just talk. We play games in Vietnamese sometimes. But I really enjoyed doing the amazing race. back in December. It was so fun. TVC had arranged this entire game where we went in teams and we went around the old quarter and got clues and had to like figure out stuff, and it was so fun. Something also really neat about TVC is that there is a beginner's class as well, and there people can learn survival phrases, they can learn how to bargain, and even go to the market and learn some phrases. Also, it's really important to learn do's and don'ts in the culture. When you come to another country for the first time, it's really important to know what not to do and what to do. So it's great. These guys are great. They give us a lot of advice about life here.
Are you confident of speaking Vietnamese to the Vietnamese people?
Chắc chắn. Well, I'm not as good as I used to be. Now that I work full-time speaking in English at a school, my confidence has really gone down. I used to speak Vietnamese every day, and now I only do it a few times during the week. So I'm not as confident as I was before. So it's important to practice.
What are the benefits of learning Vietnamese that you may see?
Definitely, there are a lot of benefits. For a foreigner, if you know Vietnamese, a lot of things will begin to make more sense. A lot of foreigners who don't study Vietnamese think Vietnam is crazy or some Vietnamese people do stupid things. But when you learn the language, you appreciate the culture more and you understand the heart behind why they're doing what they're doing. And so you have a lot more patience as a foreigner trying to learn another culture.
Can you share one of the most unforgettable memories at the Tea Talk Vietnamese Club?
One very memorable time for me was the first time that my boyfriend and I made it public knowledge that we were dating. We came to Tea Talk that night and everybody was so excited for us. And it sounds very, very silly for that to be like the most memorable thing, but I think it means a lot that I can share my life with these people here.
So we have speak a lot in English. Are you ready to start a kind of conversation with me in Vietnamese?
Okay, được.
Chị đang sống ở đâu tại Hà Nội?
Bây giờ chị đang sống ở Cầu Giấy.
Chị cảm nhận thế nào về thủ đô Hà Nội?
Chị rất thích sống ở Hà Nội vì có rất nhiều bạn ở đây.
Chị có thích tiếng Việt không?
Có, nhưng mà bây giờ không có thời gian để học. Năm nay chị sắp đám cưới. Khoảng tháng 12.
Chị hãy thử nói một câu tiếng Việt cho tất cả các khán giả của chương trình Việt Nam góc nhìn của bạn.
Các bạn nên đến câu lạc bộ tiếng Việt, học ở đây được miễn phí và gặp rất nhiều bạn và sẽ rất là vui vẻ ở đây. Tôi rất yêu tiếng Việt.
Thank you, Miss Rebecca Ruiz, for joining our program today. And that is also the end of our program sharing Vietnam. I hope that we give you more experiences of an American girl who has been living and working in Vietnam and started to learn the Vietnamese for almost 3 years. As people say, if you want to learn swimming, you have to jump in swimming pool. And joining the Vietnamese club is one of the best way to experience and learn Vietnamese. For comments and feedbacks, please send it to sharingvietnam@netviet.net. Thank you so much for watching and we'll see you again tomorrow.